Hey TikTok. For those of us that live in the United States, especially here in the South, we understand that the history that was taught in our public schools for so many years was largely whitewashed, meaning that the accomplishments and achievements of African Americans and other people of color was not taught. But how many of us know how that came to be? Look no further than the woman behind me, whose name was Mildred Lewis Rutherford. Rutherford was a white supremacist educator, author, and was the historian general of the United Daughters of Confederacy. In 1919, she published a 23-page pamphlet called A Measuring Rod to Test Textbooks and Reference Books in Schools, Colleges, and Libraries. See, Mildred here wanted to teach a version of U.S. history known as the Lost Cause, which was basically a fake version of history that was created in direct response to Reconstruction after the Civil War. It taught that slavery played a minimal role in the Civil War. It promoted the goal of the Confederacy. It glorified the KKK and actually portrayed white Southerners as the victims of the system of slavery. Crazy, right? Well, in 1920, good old Mildred here wrote another pamphlet that basically was a blacklist of textbooks that offended the United Daughters of the Confederacy, and it caused those textbooks to be banned. In 1905, in North Carolina, a division meeting of the United Daughters of the Confederacy announced that school superintendents across the state of North Carolina had assured her that no textbooks that offended the United Daughters of the Confederacy would be used in the school systems. By 1906, they started using their political clout to make sure that the Lost Cause version of history was published in textbooks all across the South. Unfortunately, it wasn't until the 1970s that this version of history stopped being published in textbooks. It was 1980 before Mississippi stopped using these books, and it took a federal court order to make them stop publishing this fake version of history. Sadly, between 1889 and 1969, there were 69,706,756 students enrolled in elementary and secondary schools in the United States that were taught this false version of United States history. Ain't that a bitch? If you want to know more, check out the article that this information comes from. It was written by Greg Huffman, and the article is titled How Confederate Propaganda Ended Up in the South's School Books. If you want to learn more Black history facts and more ways to help undo the systems of racism and discrimination, hit that follow button, go back and watch my other videos, share this information with someone else, and as always, make it a great day, TikTok.